All right, got a little jumper here. Brain innovation. Got the wordsmith in here, L7. Sincere Born Asiatic. TG Bandana. Supreme Divine. Peace. Laju. Gotta do the each one, teach one, and hit that like button. Doesn't look like YouTube is cooperating with me today. The album is September. The first single is supposed to come out in like early August. Yo, L7, you asked the question too in you telling me it's long. It was supposed to come out on the Wisdom Day this month. But yeah, the quarantine and everything. But L7, you asked the question on the text a while ago about it said knowledge bill in the 1 to 14. What's knowledge bill in the 1 to 14? It says here, um, yeah, 252. This is L7 having some difficulties with knowledge bill in the 114. Need some clarity. But knowledge bill in the 114. Not aware what that might be. that didn't jog your memory, huh? That didn't jog your memory. I see. Yeah, I don't know. It's Nick Harv. Yeah, I couldn't even tell you what knowledge building 114 is. Why did my screen freeze? Magnetic alter eye. It was a good one day. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just I just noticed it really today in the text messages. You texted the call in number. It was a while ago. This was June 18th. I got a lot of dilithium. Like I got dilithium, energon, spilling all over the place. Young Dub coming out of Arkansas. D Christian. Well, I mean, if if it comes back to you, uh, whatever that question was about, you can let me know a little bit later. We got the Wicked Out Miss Crew was slow today. Universal Truth, Forever Allah came in. And there's everybody got to do the each one teach run and hit the like button before we have to keep going over the topic 10,000 times. L7 said, I missed the live chats and I used to call in to our school every day with questions by King Allah. I used to take the time to add on over the phone. Yeah, I guess, like I said, if it comes back to you. But I guess the people, um, my volume is low. Ooh. How about now? 793rd. My volume is still low. Or can you hear me now? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? All right. Magnetic said it's going to be a parliament in Saturday, August 22nd. In Lebanon, Lawrence, Massachusetts, food and drinks will be furnished. That's positive. But does anybody else have any questions before we get into the topic for today? Anyone? So I guess we get into the topic, right? Right here, the question you see on the title of the live is equal in what? For the brothers that's on the 1 to 14, L7 say you just now it's the 1 to 14. You know, the degree says equality means to be equal in everything. But what does that mean? To be equal in everything. That's the question to the room right now. What does that mean when it says equality means to be equal in everything? Am I live? Did they kick me off? If I understand it. No one wants to answer the trick question today. Not that I have trick questions. We got the L brothers in effect. Larry just came in. the new and improved, reformulated Elbrus. While as you said, equal in everything, civilization, and not a savage in the pursuit of happiness. Universal truth said to have the same opportunities, access, and resources to work together with others. Anyone else? L7 said to have every aspect of your life in order. Anyone else? Anyone else? We're getting off to a slow start today. I don't know. Queen Mecca. What's the deal? You finally got a comment to state. The Christian said equal in societal setting, education, law, finances, and equal in regards to your person mentally, emotionally, physically. God's like Divine said it means to deal with things in equality, having knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to properly come to a correct course of action. John Simpson, everything. Anyone else? While we got a few more people from the What Did I Miss crew coming in. Seven said when every aspect of one's life is in order, one is able to manifest the proper amount of that which is required. All right, now, people that's in the room right now, I think I got some of the brothers and sisters on here is already dealing with the 114, right? So that question right there, of course, came out of the Bill degree in 114, right? The Christian said also what is given to you, you give back, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. El Lowry said equal in every aspect of yourself and able to translate that into the environment around you. All right, so like I said, that question, of course, comes out of the Bill degree in the 114, right? But here's the thing. In the Born degree in the 114, what does it say everything means? Mecca, you going through hell. What's that about? warrior comments that they always take away. They left this one. Anyone? Viewer? What does the born degree say everything means? Wise you said social equality altered. I said people generally confuse equality with the execution of equity. To be fair and deal equally in everything for everyone, I see as the way Allah taught 120 to the first now born with subtle differences. Real hip hop came in. Right. Jasim says sun with stars. D. Christian says sun with stars. Right. The universe is everything. Sun, moon, and stars. You gotta pay careful attention to these kind of things like that. See what I'm saying? You know, and some of the things that y'all saying here, I agree with. Some of it I disagree with. You know what I mean? Like, see, equality doesn't mean the same, and it doesn't mean that we all got the same things. See, sometimes we might only be equal, right? In our desire to have whatever our endeavor is be successful. But what I bring, right, to the table and what you bring to the table may not be the same thing. It's not equal. See, God said the Divine said, knowledge, wisdom, or understanding borns equality. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding borns equality. But if you try to make one equal to two, right, or two equal to three, that's not going to work. See, things are not necessarily the same. See, look, how tall is everybody in the room? I'm fairly sure we're not all the same height. We're not all the same weight. We didn't get the knowledge at the same time. We haven't necessarily been through all the same exact studies. You see, when it says social means to advocate a group of men, right? A society has been a group of men for one common cause, right? The common cause is what they equal in. Because the group or society that comes together necessarily, right, has to have all different talents and skills in order to build a society. So you can't have a society with all just one thing. It's like you can't have a family with all just one thing. Everybody can't be men. Some people has got to be women. Supreme Divine said, is how we deal with them. Mathematics said, for me, equality is to achieve and keep a level of homeostasis on a mental level as well as physical. See, equality is an exchange. How you exchanging with different people, right? And we know that a fair exchange, is something positive. And we have what? Unfair exchanges where people deal with that equality with each other, or what you might call inequality. universal truth because it's a side rally developing over here. You see, that's what you got to be aware of what that means. You know, it doesn't mean that we the same in all aspects of life. L7 said, for example, a high school dog applying equality versus the way a hard-up convict would apply equality, right? This is about the exchanges that they make in life. You know, rather those exchanges is, you know, verbal communication, right? Rather those exchanges is, you know, stealing from somebody, whatever it is. You understand what I mean? That's the knowledge and wisdom that this person had that they applying, right? And they making exchanges with people. My son said equality is the supreme unity amongst the gods and earths. Like I said, the common cause, right, can be the everything. You understand what I mean? The universe that you know, this activity, you know, whatever you're dealing in equality with, right? This universe that created it, this universe where it's from. Divine understanding said the universe is everything. When you and I are conversing with the proper knowledge, there lies the best part. AJ Mathematics, this is Side Valley, but he said, I'm more so focused on self, but if dealing with other people, I will lead them in that direction. You see what I'm saying? So this is true. Even the exchanges that you make with yourself, you may not see it like that. You see what I'm saying? But let me give you a good example, right? Of how you deal in equality with yourself and you make exchanges with yourself, right? You know, what you spend your time doing. See, and what's time? True I master equality. So see, you take your time, right, and you waste it doing certain things. You've made a poor exchange with yourself. You know, if you wasting your time doing frivolous things, that's not going to add up to, you know, success in your endeavors. So, you know, going back to this high school example that the brother brought up, you know, the person who goes there and spends their time dealing with their studies, right? That's going to give them the ability to move through society in a certain way, you know. Whereas the kid who spent his time hanging in the hallways, right, and not accomplishing none of the stuff he wanted to deal with over there, he made an exchange with himself. He's not going to see it into the future when he can acquire certain resources because he can't move on all levels of society. And there's other exchanges that you make with yourself. You know what I'm saying? The foods that you eating, this is an exchange that you're making with yourself. And in that exchange, you know, you will see that it'll lead you to, you know, a situation where we can continue to be furthered, or lead you into a situation where 6 is the limit. That exchange that you made with yourself when you decide to eat the wrong foods, now that's the limit of where your health is going to be. This Sadiq Sarah said, when you living out the mathematics, everything in your life reflects that. Real Hip Hop said there is no equality in America. We mean by that. You know, supreme mathematics is in America. It has equality in it. When you say there's no equality in America, you mean between the ruling classes and the masses? The AC, powerful. You know, sometimes real hip hop, that's real hip hop likes to do that. He say something controversial, and then take 10 minutes to respond when you ask him to draw that up. Now much we dealing with the science of equality means to be equal in everything, and what that means. See, because we all got different degrees of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? We have different physical characteristics. So when it says everything, how are we defining that everything? So we've been running through that. I think we didn't have no questions so far. Watson said equality also means to be equal mentally as well as physically. That's dealing with 360 degrees of well-being. What do you mean, like having a strong mind and a strong body to go along with it? Do you mean that in making the word flesh, that your ideas are manifested? Or do you mean that, you got two people and they're equal to each other mentally and physically? Real hip hop said, I don't understand why I talk about equality if it doesn't exist in our home country. No. Like I said, you speaking about, look, in this, I don't know when you came in, but equality is an exchange. Equality is exchanges that you're making with different people. You know what I'm saying? When you have a conversation with somebody, that's an exchange. When you purchase something from somebody, that's an exchange. So you speaking specifically on the exchange between the ruling classes, right, in America, and the masses. But see, when you're dealing with that exchange, right, equality, and we call it good equality and bad equality. powerful. Said even in nature, animals can be taught. Raphael Arroyo said the fact America act with no equality don't give you right to act like America because that makes you a savage. Everything starts with self. Forget the American ways. We are gods. Okay, but why I'm saying you have to beware of this aspect that we're gonna have the two individuals is gonna have be equal mentally as well as physically. So real hip hop, real hip hop is funny that you mentioned it. Look, I don't want nobody to laugh. Don't laugh. But I got into, I had some words with some of the rogue elements of Black Lives Matter. That had to be Saturday. Had a little slight, I had to make some knowledge more. Real hip hop said you can believe in equality, but it doesn't guarantee you will be treated with equality. Jassim said, so would it be right and exact to say that equality as far as balance is concerned is more about balance in the sense of proportions? No, because it's not necessarily the same proportions. It's not that each thing don't give you the same thing. Like for instance, look, if you're cooking a recipe, right? You may have to put this much salt, right? And this much honey. You know what I'm saying? In order for the meal to be balanced. That's how the flavors exchange. When you put those seasons in the pot, that's for one common cause. Is high equality better than low equality? I mean, it's kind of a given. But real hip hop, uh, you know, like I said, I think you gotta expand your ideas out a little bit. Because see, here's a form of equality. Lord Shalom, peace to the God. Here's a form of equality. What I'm saying, right? If you got the knowledge in 1964, 1974, 1984, 1994, 2014, or if you got it yesterday, you got the same knowledge and wisdom that we all got. See, that's the everything that we equal, and that's the sun, moon, and stars, that we call home. You understand what I'm saying? On your flag, what does it have on it? And on my flag, what does it have on it? See, like somebody asked the question the other day, how was the nation able to survive, a lot of the tactics that they use against nations, the COINTELPRO tactics, et cetera, et cetera. And it was because Allah dealt in equality with everybody. He didn't hold any of the wisdom or any of the understanding over anybody's head. He didn't direct all the energy at himself. He dealt in equality. See, there's some forms of equality where you get more, it's not balanced. Like right now with your children, right? How's the equality going? Now, don't get me wrong, maybe someday you'll be older and it'll come back. But I'm saying right now, you know, I mean, for most of the people that I'm aware of in this room, has your child cleaned your diapers yet? So these are the things, that's what I'm saying. You speaking in one aspect. See, remember, in a degree, it tells you the devil keeps us apart from their social equality. So that's why, of course, in that sense right there, you see inequality, right? Because the exchange involves bad equality. But when you say in all of America that there's no equality, I mean, we have to disagree with that statement. Why I said I was leaning towards mental and physical health. That's how I see it whenever I apply that degree in the supreme alphabet. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's not that you and the person won't have, look, sometimes you deal with a cipher, right? Where you might just be meeting a brother. You know what I'm saying? But y'all go through a cipher in y'all building and you see that, oh yeah, he's read the books you read. You know, he's researched the things you've researched. You know, y'all come to a common understanding, even though y'all wasn't in the same place, right? Because y'all got the same mathematics, y'all have drawn things up. That can happen. I'm just saying, be aware, right, of what equaling everything means. That it doesn't mean every aspect. For instance, what I'm saying with real hip hop right now, it doesn't mean that in every exchange you have, it's going to be equal. That's why I said be aware of what you're saying when you say equal in everything. And for me, when I draw it up, I look at the very next degree, what it tells me about everything. It's the sun, moon, and stars. It's like when it said, who's the original man? Yeah, see, we all have that same beginning that never began. You see what I'm saying? We all, you know, in terms of physically, we all arrived here as a manifestation of a supreme thought. The Christian said equality in this context would be like each tradesman coming together to build a house. They came together to get the house built. Well, that's the way equality is. See, because this is another thing, right? When the brother said a while ago, um, equality means to be the same in different aspects of life. It doesn't mean to be the same. See, one and two equal three, but one is one, two is two, and three is three. See, because some people deal with the one and the two and what? Don't come to no three. So it's not necessarily one and the same until word is made life. When the word is made flesh, then you see the knowledge and understanding is one and the same. That is going to depend on how they live certain things out. So you got a lot of people, they said ain't nothing like that. He said build or destroy, not necessarily having positive or negative connotations. I mean, you know, uh, mean, it depends on what you're saying you're destroying, I suppose, and what you're saying you're building. I would say there's some positive and negative connotations there. Supreme Divine said the quality of being the same in quantity or measure or value of status. Equality equals balance. This is the arithmetic definition. You know, like anybody who was on the you know, how long, depending on how long you've been with me on the lives, right? We discussed the difference between supreme mathematics and arithmetic. See, arithmetic is supreme mathematics with all the meanings taken out. So we just deal with the qualities and characteristics, right, of numbers in their interactions. You know, so you got different laws that's just based on arithmetic, the commutative law of addition, for instance. You see what I'm saying? So if we're dealing with strictly from an arithmetic point of view, where I say, look, put equal parts water and equal parts flour in this particular recipe, right? Then we talking about that, but this is not as high powered, you know what I'm saying, as the levels of equality that we take it to. You see what I'm saying? Because, you know, like I said, let's say you're dealing with a family, right? The ultimate level of equality. You know, everybody is not going to be of the same quantity or measure or value or status. You understand what I'm saying? Because each person's place value is different. And those exchanges of all those place values is what makes the family. This is acput.com. Powerful, I said each one has something to bring forth in different aspects. That's equality. Yeah, they come together and form a society of men or group of men for one common cause, and the one common cause is that everything that they equal. You understand what I'm saying? Because when we get to sun, moon, and stars, right? What's sun, moon, and stars? What's going on? It's like
Somebody in here?
yeah, hit the light.
Turn the lights off.
Yeah, hit the light right now.
I'm sorry, guys. My bad.
Universal truth said equality is based on an even exchange that is based on how you deal with ciphers. A question for a question, some people give too much away and get nothing in return because they don't exchange. You know, this what you put right here is another good example of how equality don't mean the same. And it don't necessarily mean, see, because like you said, right? Somebody asks you a question, right? The equality is for you to give them an answer. So you gave a question the person gives you a statement. And that's what balances that. See now, if you ask somebody a question and they answer you back with a question, most of the time we see that as bad equality. Unless the first question wasn't clear and the question is just for clarity. But that's really, I'm just showing you that it doesn't necessarily mean these equal measures. It doesn't mean we all going to get on a scale and weigh, 200 pounds or whatever, You see, like I said, it's the universe is everything. Sun, moon, and stars. What's sun, moon, and stars? Universal truth said, how many people hear equality and think of scales for Libra? I don't think about scales for Libra, but I think about the scales of justice, absolutely. Just that I see equality, how these two levels of things is going to balance. Get this. Got Inf Mega don't miss a class now. Peace to the GOD. Inf Mega said equality is a measurement of exchange between two or more people. As W said, equality balances the scales of justice. And Powerful said justice is a penalty as well as a reward. Right? Culture high, they are planets. Planets is something. Jack Wolfman. This is still Jack Wolfman. You new to the channel here. Welcome to Random Jewels. Where you from, Jack? Universal Truth said equality isn't about scales. Those scales are a tool. If you deal in equality, the universe will show you balance. See, unfortunately, that's a good way to think. That's a positive way to think. But you gotta remember, when you say the universe, you mean the people in the universe too. I'm not, discounting what you're saying is that, yeah, there's a sum of forces that's out there. You understand what I'm saying? There's a sum of forces that's out there. But you also dealing with people. And see, people deal with good equality with other people and get jerked every day. There's people who have good equality, and people who got bad equality actually sees them as a victim because of that. So in reality, I would say, yeah, everything needs to be weighed and judged on those scales. Supreme Divine says, so is that something like exchanging currency? Exchanging currency is one form of equality. If you're exchanging currency for goods, that's one form of equality. Right. Planets is something that's made or grown from the beginning. You see, that's the you know, the everything that we equal. See, you got who's the original man. I got who's the original man. You got the original man, Jay, you got the black man that making the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, father of civilization, God of the universe. I got the original man, Jay, Jack, black man that making the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, father of civilization, God of the universe. You see what I'm saying? Or see, like God Cyber Divine is saying right here. You got sun, moon, and stars, man, woman, and child, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. See, in those things, we equal. But, you know, some brothers might have went to school and have a doctorate or a master's degree. Doctorate or a master's degree. Should be the other way, master's or doctorate. Some brothers may have dropped out of school. You see what I'm saying? Just like the degree that brother was talking about, when he called the name of it, I wasn't familiar with it. But the degree where it tells you that you can find 5% in all walks of life. From high society to every other level. What makes us the same is this knowledge and wisdom. Universal truth said the universe and everything in it, people and all. My point was equality has no symbol to me. It's a necessary practice to achieve a cause. Well, 6 is a symbol. You know, the number 6 is a symbol. What happened to real hip hop? Real hip hop, he type person started food fight. Universal truth said in plain terms, 6 is a number, scales and swords are symbols. I mean, 6 is a symbol. Just like, look, Roman numerals, those are other symbols. That when you see it, if you see the 4 lines with the 1 line crossed through it, and then another line, that's another way of symbol. That's another symbol, right, for the principle that we're speaking of. You know, if you see the V with the 1 next to it, I mean the V with the I next to it, that's another symbol for what we're speaking of. Or if I draw a picture with hands like this, that would be another symbol for the principle that we're speaking of. See, well, let me ask you a question. Are you saying that equality just is? Yeah, real hip hop, you know, he come in, he does that every day. He come in and make a controversial statement. when he goes zones out with his dilithium crystals. The universal truth. I was asking you, like, are you saying equality just is? You know, like it's one of those things. Like, for instance, when people say keep it real, right? You ain't got to keep it real. Everything is real. Even if you lying, that's real. You really lied. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of the reality when you spoken on is going to be spoken on that you lied. So you have to keep anything real because it's already real. Is that what you're saying about equality? Universal truth said, I'm saying that the act of equality is more important than the picture representing it. Oh, of course that. I mean, but look, the word has to be made flesh. That aspect that you're speaking on is word is life. See, we can put all the symbols and draw all the pictures that we want. But see, for that matter, right? You can say that even about us speaking. See, people actually dealing in equality is more important than us speaking about dealing with equality. But that's why word is life. Watson asked, so what you're saying is equality is an agreement between two opposites in nature. Um, what do you mean an agreement? Like the way two things interact with each other, the exchanges that they make, like H2O, you know, hydrogen and oxygen have an equality based on what water is. You understand what I'm saying? And you know, they interact according to laws. So I don't know if you're saying that those laws would be this agreement. But you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be opposites. As W said, equality is duality. Duality is as natural as life and death. Calm is lonely. Duality is as natural as life and death. Both coexist but cannot be at the same time. Not even mentally, you either mentally dead or not. So that balances the scales of that. But you know, guaranteed, we talk about that all the time. You know, there's a talking aspect and a walking aspect to this knowledge. And they not always equally balanced. Meaning you got some people that can quote all the degrees. They can't uh, introduce a fair exchange to save their life. It's not in them. And then you got some people that is righteous in all their qualities. They only show good quality, but they can't manifest it like that. Universal truth said not everything needs an agreement as in preconceived. Some things are as simple as getting what you give. See, I mean, in an ideal situation, you understand what I'm saying? When you're dealing with an ideal situation with all parties involved, right? Uh, is righteous. Then you know, getting what you give is 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 uh is one thing. But you know, the full reality is not everybody got the same uh knowledge and wisdom. Everybody don't have the same foundation. Everybody don't have the same goals in life. So see, you know, everybody knows, right, and loves the part where you reap what you sow. But sometimes you gotta sow what you reap. And that can be positive and negative. So like, I just did the knowledge. I didn't do nothing. Brothers was, you know, expressing the knowledge, right? I didn't sow anything in order to reap the benefits of having the knowledge of myself. See, first I reaped that benefit of knowing who I was, and then I had to sow. See, just like, you know, I first got exposed to it, then I had to go study to get in depth with it. See, I first got exposed to it, then I had to go out there and expose other people to it. So you gotta remember that's a whole other aspect that often gets left out. See, just like a lot of people, let me tell you something about that. Somebody brought that up earlier too. An eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth. Does anybody in here know that the reality of that saying, right? You see, now we see that as a militant saying. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, that was that was it was it, it was much more related to turn the other cheek than you might think. See, the signs with that eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth type of thing, right? Is that, and you still got this some places. You still got this a lot of places. You know what I'm saying? In a lot of neighborhoods, right? You know, a lot of religious different things, right? Uh, where you have what's called blood feuds. See, of uh, at the time of Hammurabi and them, right? If somebody did something to you, then you and your family had to go avenge the family's honor, right? All right, feeling this Atif said an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Vengeance is mine, both says the Lord. But what I'm saying is that vengeance, right, is limited to an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning that, let's put it in a modern context of gang wars, right? Where, listen, the dudes that was involved with that beef, right? They already got each other back. They already, you know what I'm saying? But now everybody else in the gang continue, like, dude, you already got your vengeance. So like I said, in a lot of places you have things like that where, look, the family clan, it could be something small. Like somebody just looked at you the wrong way and then something bad happened. So now this person gave you the evil eye. He gave you the evil eye, and the bad thing that happened was you got in a car crash, right? You know, or your chariot turned over and your cousin died. So now you got to go kill his cousin. Like that's that. You did that. I gotta go kill your cousin. But now once you go kill his cousin, you know, now they got some other cousins that's like, wait a minute, you killed my cousin. Oh, now I gotta come over there and kill your cousin. And these feuds could go on for centuries. We've seen some of them ourselves just in a modern time go on for decades like that. But in that time, when that first came out, it was saying, okay, look, he did that to you. Okay, you can do that back. But now that's it now. Everybody go home. Got love in the building. Universal Truth says one thing when you build on math with someone, but when you build a project with them, social equality is keeping the same positive attitude and outcome as when you're dealing with 120. Um, um, I mean, let me see if I can break this down the way I understand it. You know, you see, when you building on math with someone, and I'm gonna assume that you mean verbally, because you know whatever you're doing is building on math. So I'm gonna assume that you mean verbally. See, that's where you establish the social equality. And yes, uh, you know, how y'all interact while y'all are working on the project, right, is going to be based on that social equality. You know, rather y'all even get to working on that project, it's based on the social equality. Like, look, if I don't like you, we're probably not going to end up dealing with, uh, you know, we probably not going to end up dealing with a project. You know, back in the days, you know, we used to actually talk like that. It's that, you know, when you met a brother, right, you paid a visit to his mind and, you know, walk miles with him around the universe. And then if, you know what I'm saying, you determine that, you know, y'all was equals, or, you know, this brother was on point, then you walk miles physically with that person. 793rd, so the brother just mentioned that type of mentality based on being loyal to his man that passed in the interview. Said he would be civil, but not fake as others didn't rock with his man like that in terms of an eye for an eye. I mean, yeah, being able to, which that's kind of the whole point of law enforcement, and Hammurabi, you know, in terms of Western civilization, he's known for, coming up with his law code. And that's kind of what the law code is about, is to get these people to uh, deal with justice in a state-sanctioned kind of way. You know what I'm saying? And not just a free-for-all kind of way. And that's still the case right now. When something happens, they just hope, that nothing else is going to happen after that. AC said, I would have to say math is most important. In the beginning, the wordsmith said math is the most important thing because it is the essence of all things. Right about. He still ain't come back yet. AC says supreme math is how I got this. Universal truth, referring to his last statement that he made. He said, yes, verbally, I don't mean fun or easy going. There could be more pressure building on 120 than what is needed on a project together, but at least the project will manifest. I strongly disagree. I strongly disagree. Uh, those are baby tests. That happen to us when we build it verbally. Uh, is I mean, yeah, there's a certain amount of pressure there, and there's a certain amount of training there. And if you're gonna be, a teacher, you saying you're gonna go out here and do all this teaching, you're gonna save the world, right? You need to have some public speaking skills. So that's one of the first pressures that you face when you come into the cipher. Is you public speaking, and then everything's got to be right exact. So for me, the way I see it, that was a training, that prepared you for some of the real harsh realities in life. You understand what I'm saying? Like, look, a brother asks you a question in the cipher, right? How's the black man got? Right? And y'all may go back and forth, whatever. Listen, that's not as pressurized as when your child asks you, right? When your child asks you, what's this stuff that we dealing with? And why are you saying that we got, but when I go around grandma, when I go around school, when I go out to play with my friends, when I go to their house, none of them is saying that. When your child comes home, right, with stuff that the school has introduced them to, right, about Christmas, and now you got to build with them about, what I'm saying, what this thing really is, right, and get them to see the truth, even though, listen, the gifts is blinding them to any reality behind it. It's blinding them to the fact that they're using this to shield their dirty religion. See, those is the hard question. People who listen, they don't have no ulterior motive. They really don't know. And then on top of that, their existence depends on this. Meaning, whether your child grows up to, eat, ham and bacon at the Christmas party, or rather they grow up and continue to live out this culture that we live in. God light came in, he in the building. Universal truths that I'm saying. Social equality is when you call someone your brother and have dealt with them beyond building on 120. That's my point. I mean, that depends on how social, because see, for me, that's the beginning of our social equality. Like, look, this is something that I'm saying. I'm not saying it's figuratively. I'm dead serious. This is how I am. Listen, if me and look, you don't know your degrees. You look at the degrees and what you see is crazy. My thing is, look, this knowledge is where I know you from. So if you shaky on this, right? To me, that's like if I find out that my physical, your DNA ain't what it's supposed to be. So now I can't really get to the level. We gotta figure this thing right here out before we get back to me calling you brother and sister. You understand what I'm saying? Because to me, I look at all that. When I see what your temperament is, right? When I see what your temperament is, when we might deal with a topic that we don't, initially we don't agree, right? Initially we may not agree on a topic. Now, how that disagreement works itself out, that already tells me, do I want to get involved with something where it might be money on the line? And when you say social equality, right? Do I want to get involved with you with something where there's money on the line? And I already seen how you are when you just talking about this verbal stuff. I'm saying that is a way in which I was taught to use 120. As W said, the heat check tells all. Like that to me is everything. Like look, we going on the brother the other day. And look, this is a perennial topic, right? But when you have certain people, right? The topic came the other day, right? Can a black man be a devil? Now, see, people who say no, they're on my watch list. They're on my watch list. Because in my mind, you're naive about certain things where I'm saying, look, we might go to, we might could go to Rockefeller Center and watch this ice skating or something, but I can't move with you through the hood like that. I can't move with you through the projects like that. Carlos Clark Cypher, who you talking to? Are you the guy who was attending physical classes before the epidemic? Right, as W said, is doing the knowledge before wisdom. Yeah, that was everything. Even in terms of, I told y'all before that, that was something that occurred where there would come a day, right, when say like for instance in our side of it, right? We still in school with the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Uh there's older brothers that come up to the school and see if we on point. They get up there, look, let's have a cycle, right? There comes a day though where if you starting to add on and brothers see you starting to elevate, then yo God, after we finish here, we about to go over there. You wrong. See, because you distinguish yourself through the building to where it's like, okay, we see, especially in that time, you know what I mean, in that phase of life, in that era, where it's like, okay, we see something about your sincerity and the type of person you are, and everything. You know what I mean? Just that you had the discipline. See, because, that's what is extremely important. That if you don't have the same knowledge and the same discipline as certain other people, right, then you would try to apply what they applied, and if you all walked out. Universal truth. So I see what you're saying. It's like when someone doesn't ask me the same question and I ask them, they on my watch list. Yeah. Where and this is what 120 does. You understand what I mean? Like, because 120 is something that you're using to help develop your mind state. So when you see how the person is drawing that up, like, see, look, you can listen to a person building degrees, right, and see if they pro-black or anti-white. From just talking, I don't have to get outside with you and you do something crazy. I could just listen to you talking. Who you asking if they know Trey the guy? I don't know Trey the guy. Who's Trey the guy? As W said, this guy's name Trey, or is that his nickname? Yeah, you're right about that. But that's something that, look, we did an extremely good job. All of us out here, uh, D Christian is in the room, Carlos Clark. Uh, all of us or I see that all of us on here, we should be proud of ourselves for as much teaching as we did, because there's so many people now, from Charlemagne the God to Drake is the sixth God. Uh, what's the other kid name? He's the bass guy. The young kid. I think he's from out there in the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? All of this is because of how much we've manifested this thing, man. You know, the 85% might be deaf, dumb, and blind, but they're not stupid. So Asiatic mathematics said, well, if they build on a degree and then pro-white and anti-black, I mean, yeah, that would be something that I would detect. I mean, it's clearly in there. You know what I mean? He likes the devil because the devil gives him nothing. These would be things like, for instance, recall like the last, I don't know when that live was. It was a little bit ago where I was saying that, listen, you don't want to be on the wrong side of history. You don't want to be Uncle Ruckus, where, and sometimes that occurs too, especially on Facebook. I've seen in particular than any other realm on Facebook. A lot of times, the worst things you're going to hear about 5% is from people that's supposed to be 5% on Facebook. Like if that just makes your day to hear something negative about the 5%, go on Facebook. Now, see, at the end of the day, this is something that a person may not recognize about themselves. A lot of things in 120 is like that. Things that a person wouldn't recognize about themselves unless they really got the mathematics and they're going through the study of this. Because people are what? Easily led in the wrong direction, hard to be led in the right direction. There's things that you can just slip into. You can just slip into not studying your lessons, right? Subconsciously. One day you wake up and you don't know them. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of pro-white and anti-black stuff, is going to come out like that. And see, you developing your ability to read all of this, man, from what a person is building on is also something that you know who's God and who's the devil in every situation. See what I'm saying? Because they're not always going to be evident to the naked eye. Who's the devil in certain situations. Apex Psychic said, I'm going to school within the next couple of years after I'm able. Yeah, there's some brothers in here. D Christian was just in here. I didn't see Wise on it, baby. All on the business. God said, Divine, you can work with this man. You can work with this man in hip hop. Universal Truth said that's all pop culture. They ain't this. I mean, they with the origin of that. There's a lot of people that, now they come out, listen, walking around the street in the 1980s, there was nobody else saying it was God. All the way up into the time when I got the knowledge, you was crazy for saying that. And you got to remember, even, Rakim was just coming out. So there had been no Brand Nubian, there was no Wu-Tang yet. There was no Poor Righteous Teachers. The NOI was just coming back. Remember, they had their divisions, whatever happened, War Theme, throughout the lessons. The NOI was just coming back in 1985. So a lot of things that you may take for granted well, I don't know how old you are, but you know, I'm saying from my perspective, what I seen out there was our culture have a tremendous impact on people. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you say, it's just pop culture, you know, that's another kind of, I wouldn't say it's another word, but that, pop culture, that connotates mainstream. That connotates mainstream. So there's certain things that you got to look at. How else did that happen? I mean, give me another. You think it was the ancient alien people? You know what I'm saying? Is that we went from being, you know, kids that was, mostly in these urban districts in the Northeast, right? To the brother that comes on here, Rafael Strutura, is from Poland. That's the impact that we've had. I'm not saying that they're I'm not saying that they're 100% right exact, but what I can guarantee you is that when you first started saying you was God, you wasn't 100% right exact either. You know what I'm saying? Some of them, yeah, they need to be, I don't mind running people with, you know, but other aspects of it just have to do with we wasn't complete enough in the teaching. Yeah, Lil B, that's the bass guy. Young Dub. See Young Dub, he probably listen to that stuff. Which look, I heard some good stuff from Lil B. Lil B got skills. But it's one of the things I noticed with the young cats, they be having skills, but they don't use them to make records. When they make records, they do their other stuff. But if you just hear them on like mixtape stuff, a lot of them got skill, man. No, Charlemagne is not a 5%. Lil B is not a 5%. None of these people are 5%. But what I'm saying is that look, it's like hip hop. You understand what I'm saying? People from all over started doing it because of the impact that people from New York had doing it. As W said, my youngest brother goes by Q to God. I joke with him. I joke with him and let him know that Q is for Queen in our language. Why you gotta message your brother like that? Right. Apex Cypher, the ugly guy. You understand what I'm saying? All these different things is showing the impact that we've had. You see what I'm saying? Just like people do certain basketball moves, right? And it goes, they copied it from Kobe. Kobe copied it from Jordan. Jordan copied it from, you understand what I'm saying? Jack Kane came in. Jack Mathematics, he heard Charlamagne mention Yaku one time. Now, to my knowledge, he was exposed to the 5% before. See, that's another thing you got to remember is that a lot of these are people who, at one time or another, they was 5%. But you know what we say about used to be. Universal truth. So I get that entertainers create curiosity, and that is free advertising for us. I just can't praise it, even those with knowledge, because not all of them are this. No way to verify unless you know them. I mean, you see now, and is a fine line. You know what I'm saying? But one thing you gotta remember is that in the degree who is the 5%, it doesn't say that 5% is God. So see, we have a lot of people who was poor righteous teachers. You know, they impacted, like for instance, look, we speak on it periodically on this channel, right? I don't see Lord Jamar as God. And he's not somebody like it's certain people, you know what I'm saying? Like for instance, SW is right here, right? You know, if somebody say something about Newark, I'm gonna say, yo, you know Wazine? Yeah, if you wanna, you know what I'm saying, get the knowledge, you gotta go around with brothers like Wazine. You understand what I'm saying? Lord Jamar is not somebody that I would advise anybody to try and learn nothing from about the 5%, about, you know, who God is and how this mathematics is lived out. But at the same time, he did his job. He probably, as a single individual, he's probably drawing more people up to the knowledge than anybody else. Think you know, I mean, and that's a thing too, you know, is when did you get the knowledge? Uh I mean, what was your physical degree? When I say when did you get the knowledge, universal truth? Right. It probably wouldn't even be hip hop if it wasn't for the five. SW says Charlemagne read from niggas to guys. That's where he gets the Yakub referencing from. And Cypher said just like Jay-Z, people from New York know about it. They know of it. Yeah, it's right. It's a New York thing. Just like, I tell people that somebody coming out of New York, right? You know, or you have people who come out of New York, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of predetermined that there was gonna be 5%ers. You see what I'm saying? Because that's just what's here. You know what I'm saying? Like if you went to 10 people, you know what I'm saying, a couple of them was gonna be exposed to the 5%, and some of them was gonna be true living. Oh, like that. I always like to plug in. But what was your physical degree? All right, so you was knowledge power, right? And what's your physical degree now? Your Asiatic mathematics. I started looking at that. Jamal was on Jesse Peterson's show, and he was agreeing with some dumb things. He might have a mystery God in secret. See, and look, and I knew that on that particular show, that guy was going to get him to, because I don't follow him, but I've seen a couple of the Jesse Peterson shows, and that's what I'm saying. He's not equipped to go anywhere and speak on us. All right, so now you free understanding And where did you get the knowledge? You say the Queens. Because what I'm seeing, universal truth is you got in California. Now there's more than I came in. See what I'm trying to see, universal truth is what was the whole circumstances, because that happens, in and out where some people get the knowledge right from people that's more mature. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that if you got the knowledge from me and what's going on?
Be ready to go soon.
All right, I got it. You know what I'm saying? If you got the knowledge from me in 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, you didn't get the same thing as if you got it 93, 94, 95, 96, 97. If you got it then, you didn't get the same thing as 98, 99, 2000. You see what I'm saying? Because I was growing and developing. So, a lot of times, for somebody like me that was more, we was kind of kids that was, we was out there living our life. You know what I'm saying? We did a lot of things that wasn't right and exact. So see, that's why I look back, and I see things that people is going through now. You know what I'm saying? And speaking literally and not figuratively, but for the grace of the gods, there go I. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of these people, you gotta realize everybody's journey is going to be a little bit different. And some people go through a journey, so you don't gotta go through that journey. Like, see, we don't gotta go in the mosque right now, but that was a part of Allah's journey dealing with. You understand what I'm saying? It's like he said in the interview that China Mac is a VIP guest in hip hop. I mean, in terms of this America, you understand what I'm saying? And see, where it may come off funny, right, is him just saying it. Like when he just says that, look, other people are guessing hip hop. The reality is that's how we should have treated it. You understand what I'm saying? In terms of not selling to the corporate interests or the controlling, or the control of what's going down in the hip hop community. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning we invented it. And if we had treated it with ownership, right, we would be in a better position, you know what I'm saying, as a whole, for having dealt with it. You understand what I'm saying? So in terms of, yeah, when you come out and just say it in so many terms, right? But look, here's the fact of the matter, right? If, you know, China, you know, he's Chinese, right? But if you went to a restaurant, a Chinese restaurant, and you saw a black dude behind the counter, you would think that was a little bit, you know, that would be a little bit like, you know, not saying you can't do it, not saying you can't do it, but that's not what I was visualizing when I came here, because I know who has ownership of making Chinese food. We do need to take ownership of our culture, right? Especially here, because that's how people people make money. Italians come here and sell pizza. Chinese people come here and sell wonton soup. Dutch people come here and sell shoes. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever it is that people have in their native lands, you know what I'm saying? Mexican people come here and they open Mexican restaurants. So, you know, I don't think it's, you know, coming from the angle where it's like, yo, you against the hip hop, as if you saying like, yo, you know, you could be kicked out, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. Yeah, that part comes off anti. You understand what I'm saying? But in terms of how we supposed to deal with things that we made and owned, yeah, it's our 23 million square miles. If you're not one of us, you a guest over here. You understand what I mean? But that don't mean for us to treat you with poor equality. It just means that we got to start looking at things like that. I'm saying hip hop is just one example. You know what I'm saying? Remember, which I knew about that before that, but remember Chris Rock did the movie about hair. And I don't know if anybody saw it, but they were showing how not one, I think they said it might be one, but out of all the black hair care products, that if it was one, only that one was owned by original people. Like everything from Jerry curls to waves to whatever. Now, taking care of black people's hair, that's something that, to my knowledge, came from Madam C.J. Walker. You understand what I'm saying? You know, this is something that, you know, we not get into what it means. And I know that's a whole other ball of wax, but I'm just talking about the ownership, right, of what you made. Oh, let me catch back up here. Oh, Supreme Justice came in the building. Smith said, yeah, Jesse Peterson was talking all kinds of spooky religious stuff, and Jamal was just agreeing with him and nodding his head most of the interview. I mean, listen, man. Lord Shalom said there was a reason for the old God saying there was a large 5%, as opposed to just saying 5%. You see, that's what I'm saying. There's some, just 5%, they put it in so much terms for you. You understand? I mean, clarify it. Yeah, they 5%. They not a large 5%. Not the Allah. They got a school on 126th Street in South Valley. Maybe the Allah that has a temple on 127th Street in 6th Avenue. But not the Allah from 126th Street in 7th Avenue. So that does say he recalls watching a bill with Umar YD, the great on that technology policy degree and I want to 40 about that topic. Christopher Good. said, people like that are no use, and we would just be losing time. Because people like another, back to him, but what it says here, LJ might have been in that position, though I would have to see the clip just to get a full perspective. Oh, Lord Jamal, yeah, listen. Now, you want to say you got the knowledge in prison? Yes, I mean, that's a whole other journey. People that get the knowledge in jail a lot of time, they got to come out of jail and learn all over. But these is all the different journeys. Yes, I mean, you got to remember that, like I said, like, there's no one solution. You know, it took over 1,000 years. You understand what I'm saying? You know, even if you should say from 1500, you know, the 1400s, that's still 600-700 years that it took to create the situation. And all different types of trials and tribulations for them to put us under, right? Right? So that we fall victim to the devil's civilization without taking them off the planet. You see what I'm saying? And so each person, you know, even in your endeavors, when you out there teaching, you gotta realize that everybody is at a different aspect. You know, some people, they may already be educated, they may already know certain historical things. So when you come in and tell them about the Crusades, they might start telling you about the Crusades. There's some people, they may have a degree in physics, so they already coming to the table with that. And then some people is coming to the table without knowing how to read. Through the science of building, everybody gets on the same page. The wordsmith said the knowledge culture degree says the 85% is easy to lead in one direction. If someone can easily lead one into a false teaching or conspiracy theory, they're sheep and not a goat. You mean the person that's being led as a sheep? He Christian said only if you're not hard-headed and stubborn, you won't have to go through the same journey. Some love it the hard way, 5 burns from the stove fire, and still going back for more. Well, now listen, here's the thing, be Christian, that's kind of the nature of the 5%. You gotta be, you gotta remember, you know, we go according to supreme mathematics. But to our family, God, we're rebellious. You know, like I said, today is much more mainstream. Like if a kid comes to the house right now, right, 20 years old, you know, or, you know, young 15 years old, he's 15, you know, 14, 13, he's coming to be introduced to knowledge, right? Now, when he get home, his parents know guys. His parents grew up with some of us. His parents listened to Wu-Tang. His parents loved Brand New Day. But, you know, when you know, back at that time, you know, when you came to the house with that, it's like I said, you know, they looked at it that I had joined the gang. Yeah, see, D. Christian said, I seen colored folks with Jamaican flags up selling Jamaican food. I asked for boiled dumpling, and where it says they was low. Yeah, I mean, I can't say make it and own it. If not, what you make is owned by someone else. Yeah, and that is a perspective that you know, I would take what you know what I'm saying. I can't put words in Lord Jamal's mouth, you know what I'm saying. But I don't think he means it necessarily in a way to uh, offend everybody. You know what I'm saying? And um, there is something to be said. There's a show, a channel right on YouTube, and it's these young people on here. Everybody on there, I would say, is under 30. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the whole diaspora. You know what I'm saying? Where you got people from Africa, kids from the Caribbean, you know, uh, right here in America, all different aspects of the original people. You know what I'm saying? At least the diaspora. And you know, that was the first I really started hearing. It was between that channel and another channel where I started hearing something saying, or I started hearing them say, America is a transient country. Like this is really nobody's home. You know what I'm saying? You can come here and do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Uh, there is some kind of lack of respect, right, for what brothers have accomplished here. And look, that lack of respect don't just exist in the rest of the diaspora. A lot of it exists within us right here too. Is that we'll go out there and destroy, things that one of us has built like that. Oh, let me catch up here. Man, listen, man, it's 92 degrees out there today, man. You expect me to have a sweater on? Oh, let me catch up. Johnson said he rocks with the Lord Jamal rants. See, that's the problem I got with Lord Jamal. That's like when I first before I heard all the other stuff. It was always that the stuff that you ranting about is not really like that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of it you're not coming off clearly. You know what I'm saying? And see, you talking about people and you're not talking about what they do. You see what I'm saying? You know, just like we were talking all day, right, about equality. That's one form of it right there. Is you being able to build, right, without having to take away from somebody else. And that's, I think he gets caught up in that a little bit with with those rants. So the Supreme Justice had a question to the guys that are speaking on the Zodiac. How do y'all see the knowledge degree in the 1 to 4? Wordsmith said, I got a big book on astrology, but don't read it anymore. Kind of lost interest in astrology for the most part. Jason Rosario TV, Carmen's Long, said astrology can become a crutch. Universal Truth said astrology is a tool. It's okay to lose interest if you don't need it at the moment. Yeah, they were saying my sound was off today. I don't know. But you know, I think I know what it is. See, being back here in school, I get on my feeds to have things perfected. And then over here, I'm using. I gotta use that other computer. Just use this one for to log in. Call Christopher Cox, who's Deke, coming at us on Facebook. So Asiatic mathematics say, yeah, sheep as in the followers of the flock. Goats are more independent thinkers and more curious about things. I mean, yeah, I can see that. Asiatic mathematics says that's why they try to demonize the goat in religion, because they want everyone to be sheep like and not goat like. Yeah, that's probably the reason. But a lot of it is because they demonize animals or certain concepts that was celebrated by the religions and the cultures that came before with what they dealing with. You see what I'm saying? Like we was dealing with the snake, you know, and how in you know the Egyptian science, the snake doesn't have the same negative connotation. Oh, Universal Truth just said that's it. It's exciting. So I agree with most of what Brother Jay says, but not all of it. I mean, I would have to check it out. You know, I'm generally not in agreement with most of what he says. I guess I saw like the first 10 minutes but I don't even think it was 10 minutes. He was up to the part where he started talking about Clarence 13 X Smith and all this. And see, that type of talking, you're not one of us. Like Combs on, he said in original cultures, the snake is venerated. The Christian, as you've seen brothers in Georgia marching in full suits of black with all the smoke. I mean, I've been seeing different things, but I haven't that one in particular. What's going on with that? We need to get back into the current events, because the way this thing is going now, right? The protests have kind of died down. You know, now we can kind of look and see, what's going on. You know, what's the progress? You know what I'm saying? What concrete changes was made. You know, we can assess the situation. Now the snake gets a bad reputation because even in what's the name, the snake comes and tells people stuff they don't know. to the snake was represented wisdom. You understand what I mean? The same thing when you're talking about the goats, the calves, the bulls, those represented other gods. You understand what I'm saying? Remember they was building the golden calf. The calf represented Baal, Baal. The calf was a symbol for, and that was the god of the people who was in Palestine before Abraham came over there talking about his days. Come on, magnetic. Yeah, made something Allah. His name was Clarence 13 X when he was a student minister and all this stuff. Like, yo, listen, man, it's just, to me, it's weird. How is your name Lord Jamar and his name is Clarence? That to me just don't make sense. Why would you say that? Why don't you tell us what your honorable name was before you came into this? We're not in the habit of that. So why you doing that? To me, that's just, Oh, what happened? Shahrazad Ali was on Mean Gene saying that who's not Allah? Hold on, let's get Supreme Man in here.
Peace.
Supreme Man in the background for me. Yeah.
You don't see me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't see your I see what it is. I got lag time between my two screens.
You ain't got to see my face.
Yeah, I see you now.
What's the signs, man? You back on your Michael Vick, I see. I ain't mad at you.
Listen, man. You know the season right now, man.
Yeah, I'm going hard too, G.
Yeah. Police might attack me. I said, listen.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna lose, but look, somebody gonna get some time off and a lot of games.
No doubt. You just gotta hit him in that stomach. It ain't nothing but donuts in it. Go for the stomach first. That's real. Yeah, I seen the brothers. Who was that? What's the god name? I don't want to mispronounce his name. Let me see. It's Yazid. Yazid.
Yeah.
I definitely seen them brothers down in Stone Mountain, the Panthers.
Oh, the thing that was in Stone Mountain, you know what? I seen like the beginning interview for it. I seen like the beginning, what we call that? Like the headline or something. And the dude was saying something, but I didn't get a chance to follow up with it.
Yeah, I haven't been on my CNN lately. I just been studying and dealing with the music cipher real hard. I got to get back on my CNN, but I seen somebody had a live feed from there on Facebook, and I seen the brothers and the sisters down there, and I was pleasantly surprised. And we really have to do that more around the country, just to show and prove that we're not having it. You know what I'm saying? There has to be consequences for actions. That's really the season as well. Like, no more marching, no more laying down, no more hands up, none of that. When something happens, we have to react in a unified manner to get the respect that we deserve. That's just what it is. A lot of people are starting original gun clubs around the United States, perfectly legal. You know what I mean? I'm investigating that for self and family, and you know, we gotta build on that level as well. You know,
Yeah. I
that's
teach
that's
right
that's
here.
the
Let me
sign.
break down some of the residual protests that they got. They got this protest where these dudes they can't buy what yo. It was like 5,000 or 6,000 of them.
Yeah, God,
And
there
they
was a
can't.
lot of them. Like,
Listen, these dudes, but these are all Caucasians mostly. You know what I'm saying? Like it might have been 15 original people that I seen, right? And so you know they painted a Black Lives mural, a Black Lives United mural in front of a large school.
yeah, I saw pictures of that.
Now they blocked the streets off since like last Thursday, I want to say, last Wednesday, I think even they blocked the streets off. You know what I'm saying? And it's been like a festive atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? People playing a little music, dancing, whatever. So all of a sudden we sitting there right on Saturday, and dudes just come and start moving all the barricades. So we like, yo, what you doing? Then all of a sudden, all these Caucasians come riding through, and they like Black Lives Matter, and it's like, dude, you disrespecting our stuff, though, man. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? So, it got contentious because I went and put the cones out. Got the cones in front of the school. I went and put it in the
right.
street. Like, nah, don't come over here, don't ride over here, don't stop in front of here, don't take no pictures over here, keep moving. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? And it wasn't, look, see, I was yelling. And, they was responding, not yelling back, but they was bouncing like about one type thing. But then this lady came with a bullhorn, guy, and
Mm.
she bombed them so hard that they got off their bikes and started walking the bikes. But they was walking on the side of the street now instead of going over the mural.
Mm.
Yeah. But it just goes to show you guys, like, your heart can be in the right place, but you don't really have an understanding of what's going on. Like that was the thing. The one dude, he almost took it to another level. Because I got the cones there, he's picking the cone up, trying to move it. I'm
Mm.
like, yo, what are you doing? Black Lives Matter, right? I respect my shit, man. Put my shit back, but fuck
Right.
you. Know what I'm saying?
You know what it almost gets to? It almost gets to a point where you should feel privileged because they want to unite with you. And that's not what it's about.
You see?
You know what I'm saying? That's not the science. You know? We still want you to go teach your own. Y'all doing a little bit of that, but y'all need to do that a little bit harder, you know? And we're not privileged to be with you. You should know this already, you know? And you still need the knowledge of yourself. It makes sense where a lot of brothers like, why Allah allowed Caucasian people to get the knowledge? Well, this is the seeds of that. It's like he saw hip hop music permeating the planet, and the foundation of hip hop music in its early stages was the knowledge from the nation of gods and earths, 5%ers, the Law's Nation, whatever you want to call it. That permeated that. It was funny because it's kind of along the same lines, but Ledge, he never heard G rap, G. And we was on the phone today, he was playing G rap songs. And not only that, he didn't know a lot of people in music had the knowledge like that, you know? So we were never taught to be prejudiced. We teach anybody want to get taught. However, it's a process with that. And this is the fruit of that. This is the fruit of having an open environment where anybody could come in and do the knowledge. Now, these people's children are going to have a different way of thinking when it comes to racism. Not saying they're going to be 100% right and exact, but they may give that one thought, and that one little thought before something happens is what saved people's lives. You know, it's good that the police are quitting, because now somebody could take their job that's not on it like them. You know, so it's a purge. It's different purges that's going on. The police is being purged. People are being purged from the planet with the corona. That's not a positive thing. However, you have to do the knowledge. This is creating discipline. You have to be disciplined. You have to be able to abstain from certain things that you want to do. You know what I mean? It is literally save your life. Like we've been teaching that. You know what I'm saying? But now it's time. If you are undisciplined brother or sister, it may literally cost you your life or somebody that you love. So you got to do the knowledge. You know? And that's what I see going on. Like, you know, that's the big thing. And like you said, like, how you just gonna move my stuff? We know the science of the Black Lives Matter Corporation. See, a lot of people they not up on that. I'm sure y'all went over that on here a couple times or whatever, but it's a corporation that runs that. And they're reactionary. They don't even make moves till somebody get offed. You know? So that's how I see it, G. You know?
Yeah. We got Jonathan Kid came in the room with us too here. They got Supreme Justice got a side rally going on over here.
I knew 793rd was gonna say something about G-Rap. All due respect, 793rd.
793rd never let the conversation about hip hop go to waste.
I ain't mad at it. We could do a hip hop trivia on here one night. I'm good at that. I go back with that. The winner get a shirt. The winner get a shirt.
Right there that I heard about that I didn't get a chance to research, where they were saying that a white woman pulled out a gun on the black woman, and she was on the Karen type of movement.
I ain't hear about that one.
I heard about it, but I haven't gotten a chance to check it out.
I just heard about Chicago this weekend. Like 77 people got shot this weekend. But I know people that live in Chicago, and they say it's good places to live in Chicago. Like it's not all bad like that.
Right, but look, that is starting to be something. Like not for nothing. And I know look, the times change. You know what I'm saying? Maybe young boys got a new system. But saying, why it seem like everybody in Chicago get shot on the weekends? Right?
Yeah, I don't know.
In New York, niggas got shot every day.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I just don't know. I mean, I got good brothers out there or it's from there, and they told me that they shut the projects down. They moved the people in the neighborhoods that had beef with the projects on purpose, and then they locked up all the leaders. And the leaders, it created a vacuum for leadership. So say if taking my town for instance, right? The West Trenton was one gang, right? But when the leaders left, Stuyvesant Avenue and Hoffman Avenue started beefing, and they grew up with each other. They know where everybody lived. They know everybody's families. So it's really not hard to get at them. And that's what a brother told me happened in Chicago. Like, it's crazy because nobody's really, everything is cliques now instead of one gang like the GDs or whatever. It's cliques.
Yeah.
You know?
Still though, it's just something that just makes me wonder if there's, another factor involved and who's doing the shooting.
Some people said it's police doing a lot of the shooting.
That's
And we
crazy.
already, yeah, because we already know from Los Angeles, the police will pick you up and drop you off in the rival gang territory and tell a rival gang you in their territory so they can come kill you. So you think they're not doing that in Chicago?
I mean, I don't know, but it's definitely something where I'm like, yo, this thing is taking off. And then I don't know if you were seeing the other story, the people that was in the Chaz, remember the Chaz district in Seattle?
The cabs?
The Chaz, when they took over
Oh, yeah, true. When they took over a section of town.
Right.
And they wouldn't let the police in there.
It was 2 dudes that got shot. Right. One dude returned. The dude that made it, he said some white supremacists infiltrated the district and shot him.
I mean, it's possible, Lord. I mean, it's so many reports and so many things. Sometimes I got to fall back because it's just too much. And there's so much misinformation. You just don't know what's going on. You know? Every time something happens, you either got COVID or they blame it on something else. Did you go to the Great Mind thing? Thing for Great Mind?
Yeah.
That's peace. K-Bar told me he was there. I was with K-Bar yesterday.
Yeah, I was seeing K-Bar out there. And yesterday, I seen yesterday be original. He came by the school when we was finishing up the boxing class.
That's peace.
Mr. Green one came in.
Yeah, we got to talk offline. We got to talk offline the Fame Lab business.
Yeah, I was looking at I've been looking at with the with the protests have what they developing into.
It's a lot of dancing going on there, man.
Yeah, I mean they still got some protests. I know they down by Wall Street right now, or City Hall. I think they got like some type of encampment over there.
Yeah, it was a big thing over there the other day, right? It went off.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the protests, I wish I had publishing on the wobble dance because they're doing the wobble at every protest.
Mm.
Even white people's doing the wobble.
I don't follow too much.
Somebody on here, the brothers, they know what the wobble is. Sisters know what the wobble is.
Yeah, probably. D. Christian said, I recall a couple of years back, they said they had a hidden prison in Chicago in a locale nobody knows about, or the types of injustice that went on in there.
I heard that they would take you there and torture you. And sometimes you ain't make it out of there. It was in like a warehouse in Chicago. I did hear about that. I heard about that from people in Chicago. Joe Shaheed, it's my man from there. Yeah. From what I understand, that was real. 793rd. YZ bought Steezo to my house when I was about 20 years old. In Jersey. He came to my crib. We chopped it up for the day. He was a real cool brother. Peace to Steezo. I had love for that brother.
What's the deal with YZ, man?
YZ is a Muslim. I gave YZ Supreme Mathematics back in the day. But he's a Sunni Muslim. And he had lost his hearing. I think he gained it back to a certain degree. because he started doing shows again. But me and him was always going to be peace, you know what I'm saying? But I did give him the math, and he joined Black Watch. And he took me to Black Watch. And they didn't have no real 5%ers in Black Watch. Because what they did, it was a setup. They put me and all the so-called 5%ers in the room. And YZ was like, yeah, y'all said y'all know this, y'all say that. No, 20 years old, you know how I was rolling. I just bombed the whole room. And then Professor X asked me to join Black Watch, and I declined. Even though I wanted to get on with the rapping, I declined. There was some other things. I don't want to talk about them on camera that was going on. That was crazy. I just say this one thing. We was on tour with them when I was with Poor Righteous Teachers. And I tell you 2 quick stories. I'm going to make them fast. So the first one is we all went out to eat, and Black Watch was eating swine. We was like, yo, why y'all eating swine? And they was like, yo, it's an ode to the ancestors who had to survive off of it. See, you always think I'm throwing people under the bus. I just got a lot of hip-hop stories, man. All right, now let me tell you a positive story. So we was on the bus, right? We was on the bus. It was Poor Righteous Teachers, Third Base, and Black Watch, right? So Brother Jay, who I'm cool with, Brother Jay stood up, right? He said, yo, search. What's the name of your dancers? So his dancer's name was Martin Luther Swing and Malcolm X, right? Brother Jay said, yo, I forgot where we was at. I think we was coming from Chicago. I don't know. He's like, by the time we get to Indianapolis, if they names is not changed, we fucking everybody up that's with Third Base. We don't care who you are. And he just turned around and sat down, right? So we was like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? So we got to Indianapolis, right? The whole Black Watch, they got off the bus. Zoom, zoom. And they stood at the front of the bus. And when the dancer dude came off the bus, he was like, what's your name? He said something else. Then he asked the dude, he said, what's your name? He said something else. And their names was never Martin Luther Swing and Malcolm X no more. That's real talk. That's a true story, God. I'm gonna write a book one day, man. That's a true story, G.
That's a crazy one.
Yeah. But how can Search talk about he's studying science and his dancer's name, Malcolm X and Martin Luther Swing? He don't talk about that in none of these interviews he be doing.
Now, do you want to bring that up? But so yeah, we down now. We got 20 minutes left. We got 20 minutes left to this class right here. Everybody do the each one teach one. Hit the like button. Share. If you new to the channel, subscribe. Hit the notification button so you can get to the lives. You know what I'm saying? But right now, if anybody, we can go through a little questions right now. If anybody got any questions on what we went through today, or any questions in general, we can deal with that right now.
Can I ask you a question?
Good.
793rd piece and Universal Truth, you right. I was building with K-Bar, and he made a good point. I ain't going front. I give credit where credit is due. So he was saying the Caucasian man was not grafted from the original man. He was grafted from the yellow man. He said up until it gets to the yellow man, it deals with separation and not grafting. How do you see that?
I mean, I see what he's saying, but I disagree because the part that makes it grafting is killing the black seed. You see what I'm saying? So the first
Is it killing? Oh, well, it's killing with the nurses and the cremators.
Yeah,
but it's separating. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you talk. Go ahead. My fault. Go ahead.
This is why I see it as more separating, because it didn't take 200 years to create a brown man. It took 200 years to eliminate all the black seed from the population.
I ain't think about that. That's peace.
But I see where I agree with him at though is that it's still the same. You don't get to where it's no more the same until that last action going from yellow to white.
Right, but I think I'm more in line with what you're saying, because when you deal with murder, that's grafting. If anything, that's grafted thought. He also said we taught the white man everything he know. I do not agree with that. Musa went to civilize the devil. The devil's nature is to do what? Devilishment, or acting according to wickedness. So I asked him to go back in history, and when did the original man ever use biological warfare and other things that I mentioned? I'm not gonna make it long, but we didn't teach them that. They developed that with their own diabolical minds.
Yeah, yeah, I do think that I would categorize that as below.
Yeah.
And
let me make one more point. One more point. Each time that you deal with a level of grafting, right, from brown to yellow to white, you lose morality as well, because you could chronicle that with the people, the yellow people, the brown people. By the time it got to the white people, they were not as diabolical and sinister in their ways and action as the grafted man. There's nowhere in history that they did all that stuff like that grafted man. I challenge anybody. When those people dealt with war, for the most part, or even slavery, it was because you lost the war, and eventually you assimilated into the popular culture. And after 100 years or so, that population was no longer slaves. You always had poor and rich.
You
know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I ain't gonna take over the 20 minutes with my question, but I had to run that by you.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
See, Malik, that's a good manifestation right there. You can use that with the four devils.
Young Dove said, but wasn't that devilishment built off of our knowledge of the sciences?
No. Look at the words that you're using. Knowledge of the sciences. Since when does knowledge equal devilishment? Trick knowledge is not the same as knowledge.
See, the one thing I got is that they got the original script, right, or whatever, from the original man who was saying Yaku. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
In their daily endeavors, right, they have updated and upgraded the devilship.
Exactly. To fit the times.
In ways that we wouldn't have wait a minute. Old boy is new to the channel. Welcome to the channel. He said Yakub is John the Baptist.
I never heard that one, brother.
That's a real new one. You care to expand on that? Oh boy.
Let me ask you this, God. Name the history of original people where they burned people alive and ate their body and made a party out of it. We didn't teach them that. That's something that came out of them. There's no history for that. Not in the brown or the yellow man either. We just didn't do things like that. When you dealt with slavery back then, it wasn't like the Willie Lynch stuff. It wasn't generational menticide.
Shall I say that Musa teach them the forgotten trick knowledge they got gave them.
Yeah. But it's varying levels to everything though.
Oh boy, said so wait. Yakub is John the Baptist and Jacob?
Right. I know of him being Jacob.
He said PDF Yakub, the creation of the Caucasian. I mean, we'll PDF it later, but I'm saying, what is it that you're speaking on right here?
Minister Farrakhan, I listened to his speech on July the 4th. He dealt with that science. I had to give him thumbs up on his speech, man. He was hard body. I give it to him. His health is deteriorating bad too.
He's like 80 something, right?
84 years old.
You know, that's something that I've been, recently, well, not recently, but, that's something like a lot of these conspiracy theories, and they're like, yo, the government's like, yo, the dude is 80 something years old, man. Eventually, he was going to have to pass away.
Yes. It's only him and one other person alive that were students of Elijah Muhammad. That's hard body, G.
Now,
that's real.
Be true.
Yeah.
But you mean like direct students?
Direct students. Knew him, saw him, talked to him. That's hard, G. We in a new paradigm, guys.
Oh boy, I'm still trying to I'm still checking for your answer in terms of how is John the Baptist Yakub? Dr. York. Dr. York is the one who wrote this creation of the Caucasian. And Sergeant and 5% use similar terms in music. What music you listen to?
They used our terms. That's what they did.
Like what?
They said peace God in their music. They used devil. They used the language, because you got to think about it. Most of the artists that were Ansars back in those days, they were associated with the gods either through having relationships with brothers, or a lot of them started out as 5%ers and became Ansars. That's just real.
Yeah, I don't really remember having no rapport with them though.
I knew a lot of them. And Kam Islamli, I hear you. He was talking about the mother plane, but I'm just talking about the best part that I took for myself. I ain't talking about 100%. I still give him a thumbs up. He shared some vital information. I agree with you though.
What is this right here that you put up here about Dr. York? Oh boy. What is
Black Moon was not Ansars. Black Moon was 5%ers, but they became Sunnis. Buckshot name was Knowledge Infinite. I know him. And Tech from Smith and Wesson still say he's God. Sean Price used to say he was God too. But they all Muslims now.
He's a little bit Ansar. I think his old E was in.
Who? Sean Price?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't really know him personally, even though he's from Brownsville. Only was around him a couple times. And my tree, we was about to get into it with the whole boot camp one time. I don't know if you want me to tell that story. It was about to be my tree against the whole boot camp clips, son. It was about to go down.
Yeah, Jazzo.
Right.
So
Right on
boy,
Folding and Nostrum.
it's in the Errol's Holy Quran by Dr. York. If you Gmail me, I don't want that from Dr. York.
Me either, God. I'm good on that, son.
And I know that this is, it's not, it probably comes out the wrong way, but look, there's just a lot of people that I don't know what they be talking about when they
Hey,
talk
good
about
watch.
how these people are.
I'm good.
Respect. And
I'm on the
a lot of
feed.
these,
It's only 10 minutes left.
and had historical things and everything, but I'm saying, nah, he's not like how to, he's not
You see?
somebody,
I'm
that,
getting that.
I don't know if it's Dr. York.
Universal Truth. That might be an Ansar ring on the Black Moon album cover. I don't know. When I used to run into Buckshot in downtown Brooklyn, their record company was downtown Brooklyn, and I used to run into him all the time. I didn't get any indication at the time that he was an Ansar. However, I missed out. I mean, I seen that record cover, but I ain't pay attention to it. So you could be correct. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But when I used to literally build with him, he was a 5%er from everything that I gathered building with him. I could have been mistaken. I don't know. I never asked him no degrees though, because I thought it was a action in futility.
So, old boy said every leader speaks the same language. I don't understand what you mean. Calm as long, he said if Dr. York was white, he'd be a cultural icon. He's one of the most diabolical cult leaders of all time.
Now Cypher 793. Stop playing, G. You see what he put on there?
Yeah.
Now Cypher, G. Even though I'll say this. Go ahead, read it, and then I'm gonna tell you.
Muhammad. Let me tell you something.
Nah.
And I know this is gonna sound funny coming from me as a 5%, but listen, man. They put things on Elijah. None of that stuff is Elijah's teachings. Even Farrakhan and stuff he's saying, that's not Elijah's teachings, right? See,
yeah, you got a point.
A lot of the kind of I don't know, ritual is probably a strong word, but a lot of the ritualistic type of stuff, right, is the 5%. We don't practice that. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear us talking about what Elijah Muhammad said in Savior's Day, 1962, and all that stuff like that. But when it comes to the teachings of Elijah, we the ones that kept it strong.
Farrakhan said that. He said if it wasn't for the gods, the lessons would be dead. He said that, literally said that.
Yeah. So, a lot of that stuff, plus, I don't really believe in holy men.
Holy men.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say I really adhere to that. However, I give Mr. Farrakhan a lot of credit, man. He been out there teaching for like I think he said 50 something. No, it was over 50 years. It was 50 something years. Like he's like 20, 22 when he joined the mosque. So that's 60 something years, pardon me. You gotta give him credit on that.
Credit for what?
Because like everybody can't be a 5%er. So some people gotta go to the mosque to clean themselves up, become better people. And you know, it's levels to everything. So I respect the Nation of Islam for what it is. It's the business of having knowledge itself.
Listen, I respect them as a nation. You know, they do what they do. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying in terms of, uh, you know, I just, uh, I don't see what I could learn from them. You know what I'm saying? Like the brother, he said, his history. Oh boy, what do you say in his history?
Indeed, Lord Shalal, you're right in his act. But he said it again in the 90s, Lord Shalal.
Was on these specific was trying to build bridges with Sunni Scientologists, world leaders. The message got diluted and tampered with. I mean, from certain people, certain trains of thought, the message was diluted and tampered with from the jump when he came back.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
Huh?
I don't agree with that.
All right, now look, is a question because I didn't, watch the whole thing. I knew that it occurred, right?
I ain't even talking about that. I'm talking. You said when he came back, so you talking about 1978,
85, 78 is when they went to be Sunni.
Nah. Do the now. Because I was actually literally there. Elijah Muhammad died in 1975, right? His son Warif Dean took over. He started the Sunni teaching. In 1978, Farrakhan started the Nation of Islam again. It wasn't popping till 85. Know what I'm saying?
Now, hold on. Now, I don't know when, because I don't say, but look, when did he start doing Shahada?
He didn't start doing Shahada till after that. 90s. 90s.
No, he did it in 1985.
I never heard of that. I never heard of that because I remember he took a turn in the 90s when they started observing Ramadan the same time as the Sunni Muslim. Like the Nation of Islam didn't used to do that. That's when he took to me, like a left turn. And I'm not even going to say for the bad because they say they Muslim. So anything that a Muslim do, that's what they do.
Yeah. Old boy is a crazy bomb thrower, man. He just said the Sunnis killed Malcolm X and Clarence X for Ferrari and Elijah's son. Yeah, yeah. You guys, listen. Old boy, you got some stuff. You got to school us, man, because I never heard this stuff.
He can't school me with that.
Listen,
especially saying Clarence. Like, who the hell is Clarence?
That first of all, original seeds out there. Real hip hop said that anybody watch Farrakhan speak.
I did.
He said he watched it. I didn't watch it.
I seen 90% of it. I had to do certain things because I had it on my TV. I got YouTube on my TV and I was watching it on YouTube, but I was going in and out of the room sometime. I'm actually going to watch it again for clarity So when I build about it, I could be accurate. But it was all right. It was peaceful. You know, he gonna speak about the mother plane. He gonna speak about the vision of the will in 1985. I actually went back and listened to that speech for clarity a couple weeks ago. Because I don't like to speak on nothing without doing the knowledge to it. You know? So, you know, I don't have a problem with the Nation of Islam, because when you join the Nation of Islam, you're committing yourself to be a Muslim. You're committing yourself to do business for the Nation of Islam. And you're committing yourself to the rank and file system of the Nation of Islam. If you don't like that, don't join them. I'm not going to be outside of them and criticize them. The Father didn't teach us to do that.
That Triple Grams of dope just came in. On the Queens. Peace to the God. Five phrase and part self, but what exactly is a Sunni Muslim, and how does it differ from a regular Muslim?
You want me to answer that, guy?
I mean, if you know, I was gonna answer.
Go ahead, you can answer. Go ahead. I want to hear what you got to say anyway.
Well, you said, yeah, the Sunni and all this. The Sunni Muslims, the Muslims had a disagreement on how the succession of the leadership of the Muslim world was supposed to go. And you had one group who wanted they wanted to go according to the bloodline, and we had another group that wanted to go according to the people who was closest around Muhammad when he started teaching. And that side became the Sunnis, and the side that wanted to go with the bloodline became the Shiites. You know what I'm saying?
Shiites.
And then through, once that happened, different aspects of the worship of Islam became stressed. You know what I mean? It became more important. So, like the brother right here was saying, the Sunnis, they follow the Sunnah. You know what I'm saying? Whereas the Shiites, they seem to more follow the mullahs and the imams. You know what I'm saying? Now I don't know, when you say a regular Muslim, you talking about NOI, that's what I'm more familiar with too. You understand what I'm saying? But Elijah Muhammad is not from that schism, and he didn't teach according to that.
Can I say something, girl?
Go ahead.
When you deal with the Sunnis, basically, they mix the rituals of the Arab world with the religion of Islam. So a lot of stuff that they deal with, they actually are worshiping Arabs. They're not really dealing with the religion per se, unless it's mixed with Arab customs. And the word Arab translated means a lord. Arab. Rab means Lord. So what they're trying to say is, it's just like the Jews when they call people who are not Jews goy. If you're not an Arab, then you're not a Lord. So if you and original people cannot be Arabs in the Arab world. No matter how much you pray, whatever, you'll never be an Arab. So you're not a Lord. So that means you're under them, and their manifestation of what Islam is very, very prejudiced and segregated in the Arab world. Even in the holy city of Mecca, the literal holy city of Mecca, over there. And you know how I know? Khalid Muhammad told me personally. He was over there 7 to 8 times, and he said it's racism and discrimination, and he used to scream on them.
Well, I mean, it's pretty clear when you look at the history, of what's going on over there. You know what I'm saying? very fond of religion people. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I agree.
Uh, so-called Islamic right here says that Nation of Islam is more rooted in Ahmadiyya concepts of Islam rather than Sunni Islam. They use the Ahmadiyya translation of the Quran. Um, I mean, I've heard this thing too. You know what I'm saying?
What is that? Milani Muhammad and Yusuf Ali, they were Ahmadiyya? Because those are the Qurans that Elijah Muhammad said use.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. First time I heard of that.
Now I've heard it before. Even I've heard Warren Bean say that Elijah Muhammad had a library, and he used to go into the library, and there was a lot of books from the Ahmadiyya movement.
I'm gonna do the knowledge of that.
Yeah, there's a old train of thought that Fard was actually somebody from the Ahmadiyya movement.
Indeed, 2016 New Year's Eve.
Huh?
He made a comment. I'm just telling him indeed. 2016.
What you said here? Old boy said 62 books.
What's that? The Ahmadiyya 62 books?
Huh?
What is 62 books?
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, old boy is presenting things. You know, that's why I think if he wants to expand on it because he never heard most of it.
Well, listen, you get ready to shut down, G?
Yeah, in a few minutes, y'all did. That was 3 hours. Plus, you know, I
Well,
gotta
listen.
come on tomorrow. I still got my
Yeah,
class tomorrow.
text me. I'm not working tomorrow, so let me know when you're gonna be on. I'll be home all day.
All right, bet.
Peace to everybody and everybody who not here. Let's keep teaching, man. That's the main thing that God established this thing for in y'all geographical locations. Teach, 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 and more teach. Peace to man, woman, and child.
All right. And nice little, right? And like Alcindor. But yeah, but I mean, I'll probably check the speech out. I'll probably check the speech out eventually, you know what I'm saying? But I'd be wondering, like, what is he going to say? You know what I'm saying? And just in general, I never really politic with them like that. So yeah, we got any other questions, man, before we wind it down? And come back tomorrow. Yeah, you know what? I gotta get in touch with Sunyaz. I keep forgetting to tell Sunyaz that the class is open, man, for him to come back and do his thing. And where's real hip hop? Real hip hop and Real hip hop and what's his brother's name? Oh boy, y'all should have a side rally. Fly phrase, yeah, we went in a little something today. We had quite a few topics. You know, we started out on equality, and then we touched on a couple things. All right, everyone. So, you know, thanks for tuning in. Like I said, you know, all the people that made it this far with me, do the each one teach one. Hit the like button. If you if you're new to the channel, subscribe. What you say here? Sunya said he'd be back after the 9th, which is best for him. All right. So he's coming back next week. Hey, everybody, love coming his own good time. Yeah, random Jews investment. Everything has just been real hectic, but yeah, I'm gonna send out a what's the name tomorrow. Everybody check their emails tomorrow. But where it's at though, Mr. Green One, is we need the offices now. Like whoever's gonna hold whatever positions, so we can go ahead and incorporate. So whoever, you know, got the type of skills that's necessary for that, we need to jump on that. You know, because right now is, you know, it's not so much an urgency, you know, that we need to do it then, but it's just that the condition of the people around us, now's the time we gotta execute. You know what I'm saying? To save the people. So yeah, we'll have the house back for then. So soon as it be back on the 9th. Wait, he said he'll be back after the 9th. All right. The links is in the what's the name today? The links is in the description box today. Oh yeah, listen. After tomorrow, 7, 9, 30. After tomorrow, when I hit this off press, look, you gotta remember something else. My daughter's born day is on the bill day. You know what I'm saying? And my other daughter, her born day was on the Knowledge Power Day last month. So being that it was the lockdown, you know what I'm saying? Everything was closed. I didn't get nothing to do. I didn't get to do nothing with her, right? So I already spoke to them. They're coming up with whatever's the thing we're gonna do, but we're about to consolidate on the 8th, and we all going back out. Real hip hop said he's returning to the essence in Mecca. What you talking about? At any rate, though, tomorrow when I get on real hip hop, I need you to expand on, you know, your views on equality. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of stuff I gotta do. You missed the listening party, IT. We had the listening party on Instagram. 7 8. I think you missed it too, didn't you? At any rate, peace to the God, peace to the earth. You know what I'm saying? Peace to, all our other neighboring nations. You know what I'm saying? That's out there that check in, silently observant. You know what I'm saying? And peace.